Yes, ma'am.
So we'll be starting with the topic, which is the nutrition in animals. So last time we have discussed how does the amoeba they take the food, and today we'll be discussing how does the humans we take the food through the alimentary canal. And also we have discussed last time about the steps of nutrition: ingestion, digestion, assimilation, absorption. So all those things we have discussed in the previous classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, going ahead with the next topic, I'll share the screen. So we have discussed about the how does the different animals they will be taking the food inside, then ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion, the meaning of them. Now today onwards we'll be starting with the parts of the digestive system. So the food passes through a continuous canal, and that is called as the digestive tract. So this complete structure from the mouth till the anus. So whatever the organ, whatever the parts are included in this, they are called as the digestive tract, and it is also called as the alimentary canal. Either the digestive tract or it is also called as the alimentary canal. Now, what does this digestive tract includes? It includes mouth, buccal cavity. Buccal cavity includes teeth, tongue, saliva. Then food pipe, which is also called as esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. So these are the various parts which are included in the alimentary canal. Now, starting with the mouth. So with the help of the mouth, what we do, we intake the food through the mouth. So whatever we want to eat, through the food, we will be taking inside the body. And after taking inside the body, what do? We chew the food with the teeth. So we have the teeth. With the help of the teeth, we will be chewing the food and then breaking the food mechanically into small pieces. So with the help of tongue, with the help of teeth, what we will do, we will break down the food into the small pieces. So you can see in the first picture, a small child is there. He is eating with a small spoon and a kind of semi-solid food. Whereas a grown-up girl, she is eating a little hard food. So why it is so? It is because in the small babies they do not have the teeth. Whereas in the girls or the adults, they have the teeth. So they by using the teeth, they break down the food. There are two sets of teeth, milk teeth and the permanent teeth. So milk teeth, they are 20 in number. So basically, whenever the child is like born, after a year, what happens? They will be getting the first set of teeth. And that first set of teeth are called as the milk teeth. And generally, they are 20 in number. And once this milk teeth, they fall down, then the teeth which comes, they are called as the permanent teeth, and they are 32 in numbers. So you, I, every adults, we basically have the 32 numbers of teeth. But what happened as soon as we grow old, these number of teeth again now they degrade, they decompose, because in the body calcium does not absorb. That is the reason in the old person and all, the number of teeth start falling. So that is why after certain time and all the teeth, permanent teeth fall off from the mouth, and then they have to use the artificial jaw or the artificial teeth for grinding or the chewing or cutting the food. Now, function of the teeth. Incisors, the four varieties are there. Incisors, which are the front teeth, then canine, near to the incisors are the canine. Then back to the canine are the premolar, and then the last set of teeth are called as the molar. So four types are there: incisors, canine, premolar, and the molar. Now, function of each teeth, the incisors, they will be helping to cut the food like a scissor. So you might have seen the scissor. So that is the same function the incisors they will be doing. They will be cutting the food. Then canine, they will be helping to tear the food like a fork. So we have a fork like the fork. What do? They will be tearing the food. Then the premolars and the molars, they will be helping to grind the food. So basically, premolar and molar are very important for us, because what do? They will be grinding the food. So though the cutting and tearing are done by the incisor and canine, but molar and premolar and molar are the most important one, because they chew the food, they grind the food, and then only we take it into the next part, which is called as the esophagus. Now, tooth decay. So, have you ever like noticed, or have you ever felt like sometimes what happens actually daily, you might have noticed like next day in the morning when we get up, our mouth starts smelling, right? So why does our mouth start smelling next day when we get up? What is the reason for it?
Ma'am, because after that the saliva is not reaching to our mouth.
No. Actually, what happens like we get a bad breath. It is because of the formation of a layer. So what happens in the night time, or generally a kind of food when we eat like the onions. So when we eat the onions, what happens after sometimes our mouth starts smelling. It starts smelling. It starts giving the smell of the onions. Why is it so? Because in our mouth few bacteria are there, certain bacteria are there. So what do? They start releasing the acid. So bacteria will start releasing the acid, and those acid will be where? Will be on our teeth. They will come, the acid will come on the enamel of the teeth, and they will form a layer on our teeth, because of which our mouths start smelling. That is why the doctors, what do they advise? They advise that before going to the bed or before sleeping, what we need to do? We have to brush our teeth. So when we brush our teeth, what happens? Automatically, that layer which has been formed on our mouth or on the teeth will be removed. And when we sleep, it will take some time now again for the bacteria to form that layer on the teeth. So that is why like this layer is harmful for us. And if we do not remove this layer, certainly what happens? Our teeth might get some kind of cavity problem or some bad breath problem. All those kind of the infections we will be getting easily. So that is why once you get all these things, we have to consult the doctor, and doctor will be advising that what we need to do it. Sometimes they advise like with the normal salt, when you gargle with the normal salt, the layer will remove. And sometimes they advise like with the help of that baking soda. Have you ever heard the word baking soda? I think your mother might be using at home baking soda.
Yes, it is used in food, I think.
Right, correct. So that baking soda is also used to remove that layer in us. So that is what the tooth decay is.
Yes, ma'am.
So stages of tooth decay. So these are the certain stages. In the first stage, what happened? Decay in enamel. So the outermost layer will start. You can see this small black structure. So they are like affected by the bacteria. So decay in the enamel portion. And then this enamel part or the part of the decay will go inside to the next part. So these two stages are not painful, but when it reaches to the third part, in the dentin part, it starts paining our teeth. Our teeth starts causing some kind of pain to us. And after reaching to the dentine, it goes to the last part, which is called as a pulp. And when it reaches to the pulp, it is very, very painful for us. So that is why immediately when you get this enamel at the very first stage, you should go and visit the dentist so that they can give you the some kind of medicine or some kind of cure, some kind of treatment, so that this decay does not reaches to the fourth stage. Once it reaches to the fourth stage, what they have to do, they have to do either some kind of a surgical treatment or some other proper treatment they have to give it, which can be the painful treatment also. So leftover food in the mouth. So what are the causes of it? Whatever the food is left in the mouth, we have not gargled it out, or we have not chewed it out, or we have not used it properly. So that leftover food in the mouth will cause it. Bacteria break down the sugar. So the bacteria, what do? They will be breaking down the sugar and they produce the acid. So because of which the acid will be produced, and these acid damage the enamel of our teeth. So this will cause a layer and the tooth will start decaying. So these are the steps of the tooth decay. So leftover food in the mouth, bacteria will break down the sugar and it produces the acid, and these acid damage the enamel of our teeth and causes the tooth decay. Then the next part after this teeth are the tongue. So this tongue is basically what it is. It does not have the bone. It has the muscles. So muscular organ in the mouth. So in the mouth, what do we have? We have the muscular organ called as the tongue. It is covered with moist pink tissue called as mucus. So our tongues are basically pink in color. Why they are pink in color and why they are moist? It is because of the presence of the mucus. Now, tiny bump called papillae present. So you might have noticed in your tongue also that on the tongue we have small, tiny like structures which are called as the papillae. Thousands of taste buds cover papillae. So on this papillae, what are there? The taste buds are there because of which we generally get the taste of the food. Now, function of the tongue to know the taste. What is the taste? Bitter, sour, sweet. Then mix the food with the saliva. The tongue, with the help of the tongue only, we will be mixing the food with the saliva. It also helps to swallow the food. So imagine if we don't have the tongue, we will not be able to swallow the food, or we will not be able to grind the food also, or we will not be able to mix the food with the saliva. And to talk, most important thing, for with the help of the tongue, we usually talk. So whenever whatever words we want to say, the tongue also has to move along with us. So to talk, the tongue is useful. Now, different kinds of taste are there. When we talk about the front part of the tongue, it is for the sweetness. And side to the sweetness, the salty taste will be there. Behind the salt, then it will be like sour in taste. And last, at the center of the tongue, bitter taste will be there. So that is how we identify if if we eat some kind of sweet, that we feel like our whole mouth has become sweet. But no, generally only the front part of the tongue gives the sweet power of the taste. So sweet at the tip of the tongue, salt at the either side of the front of the tongue, sour behind the salty buds, and bitter are at the back. So at the last, what the bitterness are there. So what is the function of the taste bud? They help to taste. They will be replacing by every 2 weeks. So after every 2 weeks, these taste buds keep on changing, keep on replacing. And that is the reason we are able to find the taste again and again. So if we have the same taste bud, we will not feel any kind of taste after some weeks. So that is why our body, what do? They remove that old taste bud and they replace it with the new taste bud. So that whatever we eat, we can feel it again. We can taste it again. Average person has 10,000 taste buds, and smoking reduces the number of taste buds. So when any person they smoke in them, the power of the tasteness will be lost during some time or after some time. They will not feel the taste as like the normal person feels it. So if we feel like it is a kind of a bit sweet, but that person will not feel it sweet. They might feel it less sweet. So that is the difference, they feel it. But certain problems are there in the tongue. So you can see these three ugly pictures basically. the first, second, and the third picture. So most of the tongue problems can be prevented by good oral hygiene. So what we have to make sure, we have to make sure that when we clean our teeth, we should clean our tongue also, which is very, very important. What are the problems the tongue get? Sores. Sores are basically a kind of small structures which are formed on our teeth and which are formed on our tongue and causes the pain on the tongue. So it is given this picture. Then swackling. Swackling is basically when we do not clean the tongue, a layer will be formed on the tongue and which causes the taste bud to depress. They will not bring out the taste on our mouth. Tongue cancer, which are caused due to cells. So in our body, specifically in the tongue, the cells of the tongue, they keep on multiplying and they causes the cancer. Then tongue ulcer. So tongue ulcer is like very common. Getting these small sores on the tongue, which causes pain or which causes the redness. So in that particular area, the redness will be there and it causes pain to us. So what we should do when we clean our teeth, we should also clean the tongue to avoid all these problems, because all these problems can also create the pain in our body. So once all these things are being done in the mouth, it goes to the next part, which is the esophagus. So here the mouth structure was present. Now the food has gone to the next part, which is called as the esophagus. What happened in the esophagus? This esophagus is made up of the muscle. So the wall of the esophagus is what? It has the muscles in it. So what happens from the mouth? It goes to the next part called as the esophagus. So this is about 25 to 22 to 25 centimeter long. And because this esophagus is made up of muscle, they push the food down to the next part called as a stomach. So like So this muscular wall is present on the wall of the esophagus. So on the wall of the esophagus, what are there? The muscles are there. So due to this muscular wall, they start contraction and relaxation. So who starts? The muscular wall. So suppose this is the wall, it has the muscles. These are the muscles, it has the muscles. These muscles, what do? They contract and then they relax. Contract means basically they expand and they come back to the normal position. Then again expand, then coming back to the normal position. Then again expand, then coming to the normal position. So because of this contraction and relaxation, slowly and gradually, the food will be pushed down. So earlier the food was here, but due to this contraction and relaxation, it goes to the next part, which is the stomach. It reaches to the next part called as stomach. And this kind of movement is called as peristalsis. So when the food is pushed down into the stomach due to the contraction and relaxation of the muscular wall of esophagus, that movement is called as the peristalsis. So wave-like movement which push the food is called as peristalsis. And what kind of movement they will be showing? They will be showing the contraction and relaxation movement. Clear, number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, once the esophagus has given the food to the stomach, it will be there in the stomach, and most of the part of breaking down the food will be done in the stomach only. So, food enters the stomach through the esophagus, and it is a J-shaped muscular bag. So, when we look to the structure of it, it is like J-shaped. I'll show you. stomach. So this is how our stomach look like, the yellow color structure. So that is the stomach way of it. Now this is the back. So you can see from the back side, it is like a J-shaped structure. And this is from the other side. So that is how of the I think network problem was there from my end.
Yes, ma'am.
And it can hold about 2 liters of food at a time. So imagine whatever we eat can be stored in a stomach for the process to be done, and at least 2 liters of food can be stored. But basically, the food is not being stored there. Slowly and gradually, whatever we eat will be converted into the soup, and it will be given to the next part of the body. So it has the different process, different roles, different parts in it. We'll go through all those parts. The first thing, what do they have is the hydro, it is the hydrochloric acid, which we generally called as the HCl. This hydrochloric acid, the main function of it is to kill the bacteria. What do? They will be killing the bacteria present in stomach. Sometimes what happen automatically when we breathe or when we eat the food, sometimes the pathogens or the bacteria also enter into the body. So with the help of the hydrochloric acid, these bacteria will be killed by the HCl. So that is the main function of the hydrochloric acid in our body. The second thing, what do? They make the medium acidic. So whatever the medium is there, whatever the food is present there, they will convert them into the acid. Because of which food turns into soup. So earlier what happened? The small pieces were there in the esophagus. Through the esophagus, it has come to the stomach. Now in the stomach, this HCl will convert everything into the soup. It means a liquid, which is called as, so they will turn food into soup, and this soup is called as chyme. CHYMA. So it is called as chyme. So the soup which is present in the stomach is called as the chyme. Then the next thing which is present in the stomach is the pepsin. This pepsin basically, what do? They will work on the protein. So whatever the protein we take into our body, they work on it and they convert all the protein into the peptones and proteases. So whatever proteins we have taken into the body, this pepsin will break them into the peptones and proteases. It is like the bigger particles will be converted into the smaller particles. So bigger proteins will be converted into the smaller form of proteins with the help of the pepsin. And the last thing which is present there is the mucus. So mucus is what? Mucus is a kind of layer present or surrounds around the stomach. Surrounding the stomach is a layer called as mucus. Now, what this mucus will do? Mucus, they will prevent the action of HCl on the wall of stomach. We know very well that in the stomach, what do we have? We have hydrochloric acid. This hydrochloric acid can digest the stomach wall also. So to stop this thing, what do the stomach they have? They have a layer called as mucus, and due to the presence of this mucus only, the stomach is not being digested by the hydrochloric acid. So this is the main function of the mucus. So they will not be digesting the wall of the stomach.
Then the same mucus is present on the tongue also.
No, it is different. Mucus is basically when we talk, about the mucus, mucus are the sticky substance. So anything which is sticky, we call it as mucus. Like in the nose also. In the nose, we have a black color, that dirty part, that is also called as mucus.
Okay.
So, but all the mucus has a different role and a different function depending on the organ. Like tongue has a different mucus, the nose has a different mucus, the stomach has a different mucus. So here the mucus, it is a layer which protects the stomach for being digested.
Okay.
Fine?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So mucus protect the inner lining of stomach. So this mucus plays a very important role. They will be saving the stomach from the digestion. Then hydrochloric acid, they will be killing the bacteria with the help of the hydrochloric acid. And then digestive juice, they will be breaking down the protein. So the name of this is called as pepsin. So name of the enzyme which break down the protein, that is called as pepsin. So that is what happens in the stomach. So I'll play a video now. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Nutrition in Animals, Part 1. Learning Objectives 1. To understand what is digestion. 2. To understand digestive process in human beings. 3. To understand the
The
journey of
sound
food
is
from
low.
chewing to the stomach. Hello friends, how are all of you? On seeing me, I'm sure your mouth has started watering. I am the king of fruits, mango. I am indeed tasty, but I'm very nutritious too. My friends like apple, oranges, green vegetables, dal, chapati, milk, and I help to keep all of you healthy. But do you know that how are we digested? From tasting to digesting, we travel through a lot of parts of the digestive system. Come, let us understand the process of digestion with the help of this video.
Mother, I'm very hungry. The day in the school was hectic. We played and studied a lot. Please give something to eat soon.
Yes, Mother. We really got tired today. Like vehicles need petrol to run fast, we will get energy from the food.
Wait for some time, children. I shall bring your food. Till then, eat this apple.
Yes, today our science teacher was telling us that fruits, green vegetables, milk is very important for our nutrition.
Is it? Please make Sonu also understand. He does not eat fruits. Isn't it, Sonu?
Friends, it is very important to eat fruits to be healthy. All of you should eat at least 3 to 4 fruits every day.
Do you know, Sonu? Our teacher was telling us that we need a balanced diet. It should contain all the nutrients in appropriate amount, including water and roughage. Do you know the food that we eat cannot be digested in that form? Hence, it is converted to simpler form.
How?
This process is known as digestion.
Here, children, eat your food. Wow, mother, this chutney is so delicious. Our tongue is so clever. It senses the different tastes easily, like sweet, sour, bitter.
Yes, you are right. Like when we think about golgappas, our mouth instantly starts watering. There are taste buds for different taste on our tongue, because of which we can sense the different tastes. There is a salivary gland which secretes saliva. It mixes with the food and helps to make it soft and helps us to gulp it easily.
How is my taste, friends? Sometimes sweet, sometimes sour.
We gulp the food like this and then it travels to our stomach and gives us energy. Digestion is an easy process. Yes, look Didi, these front teeth and the back teeth have different shapes.
Yes, Sonu. Look at this picture that I have made showing different types of teeth.
Wow, this is a very important information. Didi, sometimes when we eat food, we get hiccups and we also cough at times.
Shall I tell you another interesting thing, friends? Do you remember that few years back your teeth had started to fall because the first set of teeth
The first set of teeth are called as a milk teeth, and after once the first set being fall down, then the next set is called as a permanent teeth.
are your
So,
milk teeth,
ma'am, I heard
which
that
usually
Yeah,
at 9 to 10, 9 to 11 years old, you lose most of your teeth, ma'am. 9 to 11.
correct. And after that only you will be getting the permanent set of teeth.
fall by the age of 8. The new set of teeth which come in place of them are permanent teeth.
Let me tell you, Sonu, when we eat food quickly or talk while eating, like you do, the food enters our windpipe, which is the reason we get hiccups and cough.
Now I shall be careful not to talk while eating food. Didi, what happens in the stomach after that?
The stomach is like a bag. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is joined with the esophagus at one side and opens into the small intestine on the other.
What happens in the small intestine?
Let us first understand what happens in the stomach. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. The digestive juices break down protein and fat into simpler substances. The acid kills the bacteria which enter with the food. It also makes the medium in the stomach acidic, which helps the digestive juices to act.
The food is completely changed till it reaches the stomach.
The food passes through a lot of paths ahead.
Didi, please tell me, where does the food go after the stomach?
Sonu, I will tell you about the journey of the food from the stomach to the other parts in the evening.
So that's about the stomach, how it works, where it works, and what are the different components present in it. All right, Yashwant and above.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, just open the tab called as resources. And under that tab, I have given two things. I have uploaded two things. The first one is the practice questions. The second one is the today's worksheet that you need to do. So worksheet is a homework and practice questions. Now you need to do it. Are you able to open that?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So start doing these practice questions. Total 15 questions are there. You need to do it. And then worksheet you need to do as homework. And Yeshu and Anubhav, turn on the video. Start doing these 15 questions. These are like basic questions. I think you are aware of the answers also. But I just want to know whether you are aware or not. So do it on your own, whatever questions you are aware. And if you are not aware of any answers, I'll just tell you the answer of those. But first complete all the 15.
We should write in a copy.
Yes, you should write in a copy.
Now, what is the meaning of perceived?
Perceive means to take something you have.
Okay, ma'am.